then let us get started. Okay, so counting down in five, four, three, two. Hello, everybody. This is the Two Sides of a Coin podcast. My name is Nkosi. Also on the podcast is my co-host John. You want to say hi, John?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And yes, God bless good food.
All right. So we're going to talk about a Netflix special. We're going to talk about the Redeem Team. As you know, that is the very famous 2008 USA basketball team that went back and won the gold. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but only after John gives us a talk about one of the restaurants that he's been to this week. So, John, lead the way.
Yes. So I am a big fan of I'm a big fan of fusion restaurants. I love a good fusion restaurant. And when I was a kid, growing up, I was always told, "Oh, if you want a fusion restaurant, go to Brooklyn." I was like, okay, I maybe go. But maybe I'm not. But then again, I really do want to go. But maybe I'm not. But then it's Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I know for so much. I know only thing I know Brooklyn for is good Caribbean food, good Greek food, and a good slice. A good slice, depending the style. Yet when the pandemic happened, a lot of my favorite spots went out the door, especially in Brooklyn, especially in Brooklyn. And a friend of mine put me on to a chef who goes by the name of Chef Daniel. When my good party promoter friend came across him, he was like, I gotta tell John about this. Gotta tell John about this guy. So he's like telling me, dude, dude, you gotta eat in Brooklyn. You need to come and check out pop up spots in Brooklyn. They're like all the craze now. And of course, he was right on the money. I've checked about a couple of chefs. One I'm going to also mention in the future. I met a lot of them, and these chefs are going to uh, wait for it. Yeah, they're going to blow your mind with all this good food, and it's all coming into Brooklyn. Surprisingly, it's all coming into Brooklyn. A couple of these chefs are opening in other areas like Manhattan and the Bronx, but the big ones that are coming to the table are combing Brooklyn and setting up shop as we speak. And the first person who set up shop that I came across is Chef Daniels and Downtown Johnnie. Now, Downtown Johnny is American comfort food with a Southern twist with a Spanish take on it. And I gotta say, Chef Daniel is a chef that knows how to play my heartstrings. I mean, literally, I've gone to his pop up shop. I just fell in love with which I will recommend to everybody. If you go to Downtown Johnny, you got to try this first. Just try this first. His chips and artichoke dip. Now these are chips made from scratch. No one's no. He makes the chips, and literally, it is so good. The chips and artichoke dip, amazing. I actually loved it so much. I had hired him to do my birthday dinner for my when I turned 34. I hired him for my birthday dinner, and it was so good. Like he brought comfort food on like a whole nother level. I had a Caesar salad that I didn't at first. I thought I was gonna like just like devour this whole salad, but like at first bite, I was just like, nah, I'm gonna take my time with this. I'm gonna take my time with this. I mean, the level of flavors that he puts into every single dish, it's like if me and you, Kennedy, were having a competition of who can have the best, who can bring the best flavor to the palate. Like literally, it's like he's having like he's even having a chess match with himself on how good the dish is going to come out. And I am just in awe every time I've gone to downtown Johnny's. I've been there 4 times. And Kennedy, I think we can raise the number of times I put my foot in my mouth again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But go on, man.
Yep.
Sounds this place
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. So this place you gotta go. I mean, I've gone without my lady, and I've been reprimanded constantly. But it was only 2 other times. Only 2 other times. Only 2 other times I went without her. Only two. Couldn't help it. But the one thing that for all my spicy connoisseurs out there, you have to, if you go, you must do the Diablo challenge. Now, the Diablo challenge, like my humble co-star Kennedy remembers how I would be at Buffalo Wild Wings. This challenge per se is makes the Buffalo Wild Wing Blazing Challenge look like a taste testing of how hot can you handle, like what level of heat can you really handle. The Diablo Challenge does none of that. The Diablo Challenge just say, hey, if you're gonna step into this kitchen, better be ready to take on the heat. Like literally, but instead of Chef Daniel, it'll probably be it's more like whoever you can picture as a chef that would capture and overwhelm you. Yeah, that person, and that's what you're gonna get every time whenever you bite into anything Chef Daniel's bringing to the table. Because like I had a Diablo challenge. Diablo challenge was the Diablo wings, the Diablo burger, and the Diablo fries. Now, I warn everyone who listens to this podcast and follows on page. I am warning you. Approach this challenge with caution. If you cannot handle heat, do not do the challenge. I don't care if the t-shirt looks awesome. Don't do the challenge if you can't take the heat. Because trust me, it's hot. Oh, it's smoking hot. Yeah. Yeah. It is really hot, which is the reason why the number went up to 4. I'm telling you, like the burger is just it's on like a broche, kind of like on a broche bun, and it just from first bite, it's like it's mesmerizing. Like you don't even when you bite it, you barely run into the spice until you get into that. Like I would say maybe third or fourth bite, then you meet that spice, and when you meet that spice, oh, it's gonna have some fun with you. Oh yeah, it's gonna have some fun with you. Now you can increase that fun if you can take the heat and you just wanna go, you just wanna just burn yourself on the inside because you don't care. Feel free to also have the Diablo sauce with it on the side. Ask for it on the side. Now, If you like dancing with with danger, then make sure to tell the waiter that you want it on the burger already, as opposed of it being on the side. Now, here's the thing: if you get the Diablo sauce on the burger, okay, it's super, super, super spicy. Just to let you know, it is spicy, but it is savory. Like how they say the bourbon pretzel bun cheeseburger at Wendy's is. Yeah, it's that savory. It even made it's more savory than that burger, because this is like more of an artisan burger. And yes, with the Diablo fries, it's going to set your insides on fire. So that's why I say, if you can't take heat, don't do it. But if you can, feel free. Definitely get those Diablo fries, and do not cheat yourself. Please, if you call yourself a heat connoisseur, don't treat yourself and say, "Oh, I'll just do the Diablo burger and fries." No, no, do the whole thing. Do the whole thing. Do the wings with the fries and the burger. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. I kind of regret it a little bit because I like the Diablo sauce. I'm a big fan of that Diablo sauce. I'll put it on everything. Actually, I have. I put it on a cheese omelet, and I mixed the last little part of it into a salad. That's as far as I went. I do have plans to go further, but I don't know how regular I can be going to downtown Johnny's and asking them for the Diablo sauce before they be like, look, you got to pay for it now. But yes, definitely check out downtown Johnny's. Also, they have very great vegan options too. Very great vegan options. My wife had this cauliflower broccoli dish with vegan cheese on top of it, and it was good. I mean, it was so. I'm not. I'm a fan of vegan stuff, but really, that took the cake. I mean, I liked it. I actually ordered it twice, and then being that my plan was when I went, I was I had an expect I had a focus on reviewing another big dish on their menu, which is their seafood tacos. I didn't even get to order the seafood tacos. I was just like, yo, this right here is kind of treat me right. And I did end up getting the Diablo burger with the Diablo fries, but I got it to go. And man, even if you get it to go, yo, it is good. But it gets spicier, you know? That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell you. Definitely, definitely check out Downtown Johnny's. Feel free to help yourself to his spinach artichoke dip with chips, or you can also check out for my spicy connoisseurs. I should tell you spicy connoisseurs only, but nah, if you feel you could take the heat, why should I tell you not to try it or not? I mean, I tried it, and everyone till this day he's trying to figure out how, like he actually said, reminded me of some he's expression of seeing me eat the hot food, Kennedy, reminded me of that time we was at Wild Wings, and you was like, so my friend's gonna have all a lot, like probably 50 wings, and yeah, he's a glutton, by the way.
I don't think I said that exactly. Did I say that exactly? I might have said that
Yeah, you did.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
might have said
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not gonna I don't remember it, but I probably did. Uh
yeah.
I wasn't wrong though.
No, no, no. And I am slowly but surely putting aside my gluttonous ways.
Alright.
I did say I did in my defense. I did say slowly, slowly putting aside my gluttonous ways.
Well,
Slowly.
fair enough. Fair enough. But this place sounds pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It is, man. You really got to check it out. Downtown Johnny's is located on 629 East 17th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Definitely, guys, check this place out. I definitely feel this is going to be like one of those restaurants that could be like one of the hidden gems of Brooklyn because where it is, it has like that the whole decorum is like outside and it's comfort, American comfort food, you know. It's like comfort food fusion. I don't know if that's a thing yet, but if by me saying it, yes, I'll put it into the Twitter sphere, and hopefully it'll come back to me, and then I'll be like, "Yes, I said that. I said that." You know, you'll say. But yeah, I feel as a this place as a hidden gem in Brooklyn, is like stuff like restaurant wise, the restaurant flow in Brooklyn is definitely making a comeback. You know, especially after the pandemic.
Alright. Well, that is good. So let's get to our main topic, and that is the Netflix special, The Redeem Team. And I know we've talked about this before with the Netflix specials, but Netflix
Hmm.
actually is getting, I think, uh, a pretty solid, reputation for
Hmm.
sports specials. I mean, they've had a lot of pretty good ones on there. I
Yeah.
mean, The Last Dance was a Netflix special.
Yep.
you know, and we talked about the Manti Te'o documentary.
Hmm.
That was incredible because I don't think either one of us knew half the stuff that was going on in there.
Nope.
Um, we There were also a couple of others that are kind of interesting. We might talk about like the And One documentary, although that one's really
Hmm.
short. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure that would require a full episode. Um,
Nah.
But this one isn't as short. This one is an hour and a half long, and this is about the 2008 Redeem Team. Now, I
Yeah.
remember this. A lot of people remember this, and this was after the U.S. lost in 2004. They put
Hmm.
together this team of individuals that were really, really good in order to get back the gold for the U.S., who'd barely lost in basketball, even on the collegiate level, let alone NBA professionals.
Right.
And I I liked it. It was okay. It was interesting to see some of the information. I
Hmm.
think it was more pretty much all I knew pretty much most of it. So when it came out, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. But how did you
Right.
feel about it, John?
I thought it was very interesting. I really got an interest because, like, I pretty much watched most of those games. I pretty much watched all those games. I didn't watch. I, I didn't watch all of them. No, I watched pretty much all the games. I may not have been paying. I wasn't paying attention because I only caught like certain parts in every game. But these matchups that our dream team was going against, it was just pretty much like the game evolving, you know, which every basketball player wants. Every basketball player wants to play to play against an evolving opponent, a constantly evolving opponent, because it challenges your own ability as a basketball player. And when I saw the first when they announced who was going to be on the USA team after that loss, I was like, yo, I was saying like, yo, we got Carmelo, we got LeBron, we got Wade. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Wade. I'm more of a fan of Carmelo and LeBron at the time. And I was shocked when they lost that game. I was like, what the? Like my biggest problem with it was is that which a lot of people said that could have been the possibility of why they didn't win, is because they didn't really have enough. I felt they didn't have enough time to for all those players to gel. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
I'm.
did not have enough time for all the players to gel. Because if they did have the time they did, it would have been a different outcome. It would have been a different outcome compared to like when they finally started gelling, and then boom, now we're going to add this player, and then this is what's happening. Like, I honestly felt, even though after we started to gel, I was like, this should be a W. What is going on? You know, you got Carmelo Anthony, you got D Wade, you got LeBron James, and then you got all these other All Stars backing them up. Allen Iverson, come on, you're telling me Allen Iverson, LeBron James, and D Wade with Bosh, that's not a strong squad to just win the whole thing and call it a day? Like I went to the point like I was playing. I bought like every single game, like every 2K. I could get my hands on. I bought and I played consecutively to the point I got to that one 2K where you could like create your own player, and I was just like, literally, like, there's no possible way they should have they should have. I mean, there's possible ways, of course, but with those all stars matched up, they shouldn't have lost. You know, it should have been. It should have been actually. It should have been a. I personally, I wanted it to be a slaughter with all those all stars on one team. I was expecting a slaughterhouse every single every single match. Like, I looked at it like, when I seen it at first, I looked at it as, oh my goodness, we just created the Harlem Globetrotters as a USA team. You know, we just, in my mind, I was saying to myself, we didn't recreate the Dream Team. We just made it. We just added new members. Dream Team trying to be like the next Justice League of America. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's how I felt about it. And every game leading up to when we actually won, I'm just like sitting at home and like looking back and forth with my father, and then watching the TV. I'm like saying to myself, dang, like, huh. I guess like it brought something that my father said at when they were playing what was it I think it was Croatia, no, not Croatia, when they were playing Argentina. My father was saying, pay attention, because you know that if you want to be a good basketball if you want to go pro and excel on that level, you have to be able to play multiple styles. of ball. You can't just play that little street ball way you I see you play now. You got to be able to play on multiple levels, different mindsets, you know. And I was just like, well, you make a good point. And then when they brought Kobe Bryant into the mix, right? At first, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, this is just him trying to get redemption, for all the bad press he's been in, you know. But another part of me thought, nah, I think he's really the only reason why he's really doing it because, like he said, he's sick of seeing them lose, you know.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like you really love this special because you really just wanted to see more of Kobe Bryant.
Not just more Kobe Bryant. I really kind of wanted to see the behind the scenes on how they managed, like what did they like, what took place. I really wanted to see what took place to the point. Yeah, what had to take place for them to actually, when they showed up against Spain that in that game, what led to that? Because when I watched that game, I was like, a part of me was like, they're gelling. Everything I've been saying about them gelling, boom. But there was so much more to it, you know? And when I watched it, I was like, oh, I didn't, okay, oh, okay. I didn't know that, you know? Like, one thing I didn't know about how, and understood was when they talked about in the documentary how Kobe Bryant was, how everyone else went to party, have fun, right? And then as they were returning to the hotel, as soon as they return to the hotel, they see Kobe Bryant heading to the gym. You know, he's getting up early, heading to the gym. He's like, dude, I got something to prepare for. I ain't got time to party. And that's the one thing I favor about Kobe. You know, Kobe was about like, look, I got an opponent. I need to win, and no questions need to be asked. I mean, what's your opinion? I mean, Kennedy, I don't want to, I don't want to talk because I don't want to talk anymore because I sound like a, I feel more like a
Like a Kobe Bryant
like
stan,
like a Kobe Bryant fan, really. But we know who I'm really a fan of.
which is Kobe Bryant.
No,
Then
no, it's not Kobe Bryant,
you've talked most of this time about Kobe Bryant. So who are you really a fan of?
dude. I'm a fan of Patrick Ewing, man.
Patrick Ewing wasn't really even in this documentary.
No, he wasn't in it, but I'm just saying, as my All Star player that I favor and love, it's always been Patrick Ewing. You know, and next to Patrick Ewing, that was in the documentary, was Chris Bosh. You know,
Okay.
I am a big fan. I am a big fan of Bosh. But yeah, I'm going to, I don't want to walk into saying something I shouldn't have said. So I'm giving you the floor now.
All right. Well, I like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it because I knew a lot of information. I did think it was interesting to find out a little bit more about Jerry Colangelo. I knew most of the stuff that was happening with Coach K when it was happening, like when he was bringing in people to talk to them about like what it means to be an American and all that stuff. I already knew that when it was happening. Like I remember that. So a lot of this was just things that were regurgitated to me.
Right.
and I think probably the biggest probably the biggest failure of this documentary is that it paints the picture that, however unintentional, that until Kobe Bryant got on that team was not very good. And I think it doesn't do a good enough job to emphasize how good some of those international teams were. Like, it focuses a lot on the US, but I don't think it does a good enough job to emphasize how good, like, Greece and Spain and
Hmm.
Argentina and Venezuela, like, at the time, we know why they were
Wait,
good.
wait, don't forget Croatia. Don't forget Croatia.
Yeah, I won't forget Croatia. You're absolutely correct. We remember how good those teams were because those teams had legitimate NBA stars on there, or guys who were slated to go to the NBA. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the big reason why international basketball caught up. It wasn't only because they were playing together for years. It was also the fact that some of the guys on that team that they were playing together for years was NBA caliber players or were playing in the NBA at that time. I remember when Bargnani went back and he was playing for his national team, and Bargnani was dropping 30 on people like every single game, and it was disgusting. Andrea Bargnani just destroying teams by himself. And I think they didn't do a good enough job in terms of letting everybody know what their competition was. It wasn't just the world had caught up to us, it was we had fostered the world in the NBA, and that information had gotten back out to the rest of the world, and now they were on our level.
Okay.
That's the only problem I had with the documentary, because like when they're talking about Greece, when they were talking about Venezuela, they really did not talk about how there were NBA caliber players on that team. How these were guys who they talked about, Pau Gasol a little bit, but they didn't even mention, like, this is Pau Gasol. This is Pau Gasol. He is a big time NBA player, top 10 at his position, and he's playing on this team. That's the level of talent that we're facing. You know? Like, that would have placed it, I think, at a much more even note, to be like, this is the reason why we need this redeem team. Not only because the international game is caught up, but because the NBA game has spread to the point where now a lot of nations in Europe have NBA caliber talent, or talent that actually play in
Mm-hmm.
the NBA. And I mean,
Yeah.
stop me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that's one thing that the documentary completely failed at emphasizing.
No, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, that the Venezuela team, the Croatia team, the Argentina team were so deadly because they had multiple NBA stars.
Hmm.
Like, if you were to replace like two or three guys on that team, it could have been an NBA team. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
So, like, especially the Argentina team. That Argentina
Oh
team was
my
stacked.
goodness.
That Argentina team could have been the starting five for an NBA team. In fact, all the people on the starting five for the Argentina were all starters in the NBA. So they absolutely could have been an expansion team in the NBA and been successful. So yeah, I just don't feel like they did a good enough job emphasizing how good the competition was. And I think
Hmm.
that would have offset why we needed the Redeem team, because it's just like we can't put out our college level talent because the college level talent is now playing against NBA players, legit
Right.
NBA players, not NBA caliber people who are actively playing in the NBA at the highest level in the world. I just don't think it did a good enough job, but that's just me.
No, I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a follow up on that, talking about all the players that were associated and that were like individual, like talk about Argentina's team and Croatia's team and Spain. Can't forget about Spain. I wouldn't be so. I would be shocked because I get to finally see a team I really wanted to, like, literally wanted to take a part of. Well, actually, two teams I wanted to take a part of: the Croatian and the Argentina one. I just really just I really wanted to go through that whole squad. Like, okay, what does this? What makes this person so fortunate? That person so fortunate. This person so fortunate. What what's his style of ball that he's bringing to the table? You know, like they do. I would actually would love them to do a follow up. You know, what do you think, Kennedy? Think they
I,
should do a follow up on this?
I think if you were going to do a follow up, you do it from a completely different mindset, which
Mm-hmm.
is you do a follow up where legitimately you take it from the other end. Instead of talking about the Redeem Team or the Olympics or anything like that, you do a documentary on documenting the rise of international basketball, talking about the FIBA League and all that stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
what it took for the international game to get as good as it was. And you treat it as like we forced the NBA to get as good as they were because they were busting our butt with college talent year after year. And they would send their top college talent, but they wouldn't send the pros. They wouldn't send the grown men. They'd send the boys, and the boys would beat us hands down. And
Right.
then the dream team came, and we realized, oh, right, this is what the pro level is. And it further shocked the international game where they realized, okay, this is the new standard. This is the barrier that we need to touch. You know, like we were doing well on the college level. We felt like we were getting better and better. And then the pros came in, and now, you know, now we see why, where we have to go. And now we have to keep building and keep building. I think that would be an amazing documentary. And I think I would, because that's a documentary where you get like 4 to 6 hours out of that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that would be super interesting.
I will totally back you on that one, Kennedy. I'll back you up on that one.
Yeah, but
Hopefully, hopefully, what we're saying gets to Netflix's ears.
hopefully, hopefully, you know,
Uh,
I hope that it can really, really work, and I hope that somebody is able to put in that amount of work to get a lot of those unsung heroes of international basketball out there
hmm
so that way we could learn about them.
Yeah, because I mean they're doing it now, but it's not as aggressive as it should be. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
like I mean, I've through when during that time we were going through what we did in that the Redeem team was going through. You know, I got to see a lot. I took it upon myself growing up when that was going on, and within I traveled to a couple of states, and I was like, yo, where can I find people that really play like they go hard when they play ball? And people would tell me, oh, you want to go up to the Point, or you want to go up to downtown Cleveland, or you want to go over to the Sticks. Nah. Go over. Even in New York, like if I had to pick, if I had to say like the top places you could find people were finding like also like comparison level, like pro level ballers. Like people's like, oh, you got to go over to Rucker Park, or you got to go over to upstate New York, the Westchester County Center. They have an open ball. They have an open gym night sometimes, and a lot of big ballers go there, and they just play ball. And after going to these places, different places, and seeing it, I was like, yo, this is like there's so many unsung basketball players, so many. Like some of these unsung basketball players, they play in or like the organizations, like the and one, you know.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. Um, like I said, when I saw the and one, it was just a little too short for me. Also,
Hmm.
the reason that they broke up was it made perfect sense why they broke up, so I didn't really want to get into it. It wasn't really something for like a big conversation. Um, but hey, I think there's a lot of really interesting sports documentaries that still haven't been
Hmm.
told that
Right.
could be told by Netflix and could really would just be super interesting to like go into and everything like that.
Yeah. 100%. 100% agree.
But yeah, I mean that's it on the formal things we had to talk about. So John, unless you got anything else to bring up, we can wrap this thing up and head on out.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after talking about it right now, I feel like we just played a game, a five man, 5-on-5 just now. I'm like already out of breath.
Nah, hey. Well, I was doing the lifting with Kobe in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I'm still in pretty good shape. But I do understand that we've been here a
Wait,
little bit.
you would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
I mean, yes, I would get up at 5 o'clock. I'm an insomniac, so I would have already been up. Like Kobe would
Uh,
have been walking, I would have been like, "Oh, hey Kobe, what's up?" And Kobe would have been like, "You up already?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Come on to the gym," and I was like, "Damn it, okay." And then I would just follow them down to the gym, just ironically, but that's just me. So let us end it off. So John, tell people where to find you.
all right, everybody. Well, it's not hard to find me. You, I'm more likely probably at your favorite deli, seeing if they can measure up to the delis I've been to where I've had awesome sandwiches. So you don't have to look far for me. Just Fat Man, Love Anime, NYC 21. Yes, I'm a big person. I love anime and I love food. And I've been doing this 21 times every day of the week in NYC.
All right. Well, as I said, as I say all the time, if you want to find me personally, don't. I'm good.
Please don't.
But if you do want to talk to us about the podcast or anything like that, please feel free to reach out. So if you want to email
Yes.
us, you can find us at Two Sides Podcast. That's TWOSIDEZ podcast at gmail.com. If you want to find us
Hmm.
on Instagram, you can find us at Two Sides of a Coin. If you want to find us on Twitter, you can find us on Twitter at Two Sides Coin. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to reach out through there. And you can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on YouTube. On Instagram, we drop not only the episode, but we also drop clips 2 times a week. So feel free. We love to hear from you. Love to listen to you and,
And
catch you
hear your opinion
and hear your opinion. So,
in the comments, of course.
catch you guys later.
Let us.